There are certain stories that force us to ask a question we spend our entire lives trying to avoid. How well do we really know the people around us? The neighbor who waves every morning. The man who sits quietly in church. The father who coaches little league games on weekends and attends community meetings on weeknights. We tell ourselves that evil has a face. That danger announces itself. That if something terrible were standing right in front of us, surely we would recognize it. But every once in a while, a story emerges that challenges everything we believe about human nature. In a quiet American neighborhood, there lived a man who seemed to have mastered the art of being invisible, not because he hid in the shadows, not because he lived apart from society. Quite the opposite. He was everywhere. People trusted him. They respected him. Some even admired him. He was the kind of man parents felt comfortable introducing to their children. The kind of man who appeared to represent stability, responsibility, and faith. If you had met him, you would have remembered very little about him. And perhaps that was the point. For years, nobody questioned the cover he wore. Why would they? The picture appeared complete. A steady job, a family, community involvement, a reputation built over decades. Every piece fit neatly into place. Yet beneath that carefully constructed image was a secret so disturbing that when the truth finally surfaced, investigators, reporters, and even those closest to him struggled to understand how it had remained hidden for so long. It was as though two entirely different people had occupied the same body, living side by side without ever colliding. The story you're about to hear is not simply about crime. It is not simply about deception. It is about the masks people wear and the stories they tell the world. It is about the comfort we find in appearances and the danger of believing that appearances are enough. Because sometimes the most frightening discoveries are not found in abandoned buildings, dark forests, or forgotten places. Sometimes they are found beneath a cover so ordinary that nobody thinks to look underneath it. And in this case, the cover held for decades. Families built memories while a secret remained buried. Neighbors exchanged greetings while unanswered questions grew. Investigators chased leads that led nowhere. Meanwhile, the truth sat quietly in plain sight, hidden beneath layers of routine, familiarity, and trust. What makes this story so unsettling is not merely what was eventually uncovered. It is how long it remained concealed. How many opportunities existed to see it? How many people came close without realizing it? Before we go deeper into this extraordinary case, let us know in the comments where you're watching from. We'd love to hear from you. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss any of our upcoming videos. At first glance, it looked completely ordinary. A cover, a shield, a disguise. But hidden beneath it was something no one expected. Something that would destroy lives. Something that would fuel decades of questions. And something that would leave one haunting mystery lingering long after the headlines faded away. Because the deeper investigators looked, the stranger the story became. Every answer seemed to uncover another question. Every discovery revealed another layer. And when the final pieces finally began falling into place, many were left wondering whether the truth had ever really been hidden at all, or whether people simply chose to see what they wanted to see. What if the most dangerous thing wasn't what people saw? What if the real danger was what remained hidden underneath? And what if the cover itself was the reason nobody noticed until it was far too late? This is the story of the demon hidden cover. As investigators began revisiting old files, one phrase surfaced again and again. They called it the cover. It wasn't an official name. It wasn't written in police reports or newspaper headlines. It was a term that slowly emerged among those trying to make sense of a mystery that seemed impossible to explain. The cover was the life everyone saw. The respected husband. The dependable father. The trusted member of the community. As Detective Robert Hayes pushed deeper into the case, the investigation became a maze of contradictions. Witnesses remembered events differently. Key records had disappeared. Other documents appeared to have been destroyed. Anonymous tips pointed investigators in every direction. Some claimed Ethan Carter had invented the entire story. Others suggested Hayes was forcing evidence to fit his theory. A few insisted there had never been anything hidden beneath the cover at all. Each explanation sounded believable until new evidence surfaced. Buried within long-forgotten files was confirmation that someone had deliberately concealed crucial information for years. The cover was real. The deception was real. And as investigators connected the pieces, one name kept appearing over and over again. David Mercer. The revelation stunned everyone. The demon beneath the cover was never a monster hiding in the shadows. It was the carefully crafted identity David Mercer had built over decades. The trusted image wasn't protecting a community from danger. It was protecting the truth from discovery. Families who once admired him struggled to accept what investigators had uncovered. Careers were damaged, relationships shattered, and old wounds reopened. For Detective Robert Hayes, the case finally seemed complete. For Ethan Carter, the questions finally appeared answered. But just as the mystery seemed solved, investigators uncovered another piece of evidence hidden among the files. And suddenly, they realized David Mercer might not have been acting alone. Then came the final twist. Hidden inside the same weathered book that opened this story was a detail investigators had overlooked for years. A date didn't match the accepted timeline. A statement once considered reliable was suddenly called into question. The discovery suggested that someone else may have helped maintain the cover, and that parts of the truth were still missing. For Detective Robert Hayes and Ethan Carter, the realization was unsettling. Had David Mercer truly been exposed, or had they uncovered only another layer of the disguise? Because the most frightening monsters rarely hide in shadows. They hide in plain sight. The story of the demon hidden cover was never really about a weathered book, altered records, or even David Mercer himself. It was about how easily people accept what they're shown and how rarely they question what's underneath. So now we'd like to hear from you. What do you think was really hidden beneath the cover? Which theory do you believe? And did Detective Robert Hayes and Ethan Carter uncover the entire truth, or only part of it? If this case unsettled you, wait until you hear the story of the man who vanished twice. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and share your theory in the comments. Until next time, remember, sometimes the answers we're searching for have been sitting in plain sight all along.